Hello everyone and welcome back to EDC NC. My name is Samuel and today I'm going to be showing you 5 awesome knives you've never heard of. Well, you've probably heard of some of them, but you know, it's a cool title. So that title, 5 knives you've never heard of, that might be a little bit of hyperbole. Of course, you've probably heard of some of these knives on this list, but number 3, 99.9% of you have probably never heard of, so stick around to see that one. Let's go ahead and get this list kicked off with the Rosecraft Blades Barra. Now, I believe this is called the Barra because it has the bottle opener and the steak knife style blade. So they're saying you should use it at the Barra. Now, personally, I don't drink, but when I was at the beach, I did use this for opening ginger ale and this for cutting pork chops. So it really worked out well. This knife has a blade length of 3.4 inches, makes it great little steak cutter, pork chop cutter, whatever you want to cut with it. Has a handle length of 4.5 inches, and I believe that is with the pry tip / bottle opener included. This knife is made by Artisan Cutlery, or CJRB, and it has the proprietary ARRPM 9 steel, which if you don't know is a pretty great steel, somewhere landing around the edge retention of D2. This knife's pretty awesome. It's got great access to the lock bar. This little pry function and bottle opener is really cool on the back, but it's also removable. So if you just want a really nice little slender steak knife with an awesome deep carry pocket clip, this is your knife right here. The action is absolutely fantastic. Drop shutty, it's on ball bearings. Now for a knife like this, it might be better if it was on washers since it's going to be cutting steaks and stuff like that, but unless you're pivot deep in a steak, I think you're going to be good with this. But for number 5, we're kicking off with this one, and it does a really good job at what it was made for, opening bottles and cutting steaks. Coming in at number 4, we have the Qvist Bladeworks Invert. Now this is called the Invert because it's inverted from his design normally. Typically his designs are a swayback with a Wharncliffe Sheepsfoot style blade, but I really like this drop point. I prefer that blade shape over a Sheepsfoot any day. Now this is an awesome knife, 14C28N steel, flat ground blade. Again, access to the lock bar is great. You can really get in here and flip and flick this thing any different way you want. Reverse flick, front flip, whatever you want to do, this knife is great. It feels great in the hand, ergonomics are good. It's a little bit awkward because of that cutout for the lock bar, but I do really like it. Your middle finger kind of just falls in between that little gap right there. If I'm not mistaken, these are made by QSP. Man, it's a great knife, especially for the price. Go check this out. This is the Qvist Bladeworks Invert. Now onto the knife that you have never heard of. This is the TJL Flip, and this is the Sheepsfoot variant. Now, TJL is a brand spanking new company coming out of Minnesota. Of course, their knives are not made in Minnesota, but that's where their headquarters are, or really, I say headquarters, it's just 3 buddies making some awesome knives. As I said, this is their Sheepsfoot variant. It's got the flat ground D2 blade. Absolutely wonderful. The price on this guy is $40, which is insane. Now they only have, I believe, 7 of these left, so if you're seeing this, go grab one. Links will be in the description to their website. The action is absolutely awesome. That flipper tab, oh, so snappy. That drop shutty blade, as well as the access to the lock bar, man, that is really something I love to see. Great access to the lock bar. The pocket clip is great, no hot spots. Only problem with it, with the pocket clip, is that the screws are not inset. The pocket clip itself is, but the screws are not. So they can snag your pocket. I haven't had it happen yet, but just something for you to know. An absolutely great design, and please go support these guys. Help them get this stuff off the ground. They've got this model as well as their drop point variant of the Flip. I prefer the Flip in D2 with a Sheepsfoot blade because there's just a few things about it that I like more. This one is an 8CR13 MOV. And there's a few things on it that I don't like as much as I do the Sheepsfoot. So if I had to suggest, go grab the Sheepsfoot, but if they're out of them, get a hold of one of these drop point variations, which is actually a completely different knife, just has the same name. So again, links will be down in the description for these guys. Please go check them out. Help support them for $40. I mean, it's absolutely worth every penny, man. Coming in at number 2 is a knife that you probably have heard of because of the splash they've been making in the community lately. This is the Divo Knives Pony Stout. This is an absolute doll of a knife. It is so small and compact, yet it can do all the big tasks that you want it to do. I love this knife. This is actually on loan to me by Freeman. Thank you very much, Freeman. It has a wonderful hollow ground Sheepsfoot blade in 14C28N. The action on this guy is awesome. It's not necessarily drop shutty, it is shake shutty, but the reverse flick and the thumb flick on this guy, oh man, it is absolutely awesome. This knife has an under 3-inch blade length of 2.84 inches, and it's got that wonderful finger choil right there to fill up the rest of the grip whenever you're gripping down. No jimping, but it does have this awesome little thumb ramp to really lock you in, or if you want to do those draw cuts, it has a great place to rest your index finger. But this knife is absolutely great. I was standing at Divo's booth whenever he bought this, and boy, I should have gotten a hold of one when I was there. But for 14C28N, QSP made, the size, the design, it's absolutely worth every penny. And last but not least, for number 1, we have the Viper V2 from Off Grid Knives. This is a 154 cm compound ground is the best way I know to describe it. Tonto, awesome knife, really, really beefy. If you like cold steel, you'll like this guy. It's jimped out the wazoo up here on the blade. That action, though, is pretty great. Which a blade that heavy, it ought to be. And the flipping action as well. You can still flip this thing open really, really nicely. The deep carry pocket clip is in set, and also the screws are in set, and it has 3 pocket clip screws, oddly enough. Goes in and out of the pocket really well. That jimping on the side of the G10 here doesn't really tear your pocket up on the way in and out. Has a 3 3/4 inch blade and a 4-inch handle, so you have more than enough room on this thing, unless you just have Shaquille O'Neal hands. As you can tell, that tip is really, really stout, great for penetrating, doing whatever you need to do to whoever you need to do it to. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Try to bring you a really fast-paced, quick video on 5 awesome knives you've never heard of. Were there any in here you have heard of? I'm sure there were, but how many of you had ever heard of the TJL? Please let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all those wonderful things. Have a great day, and God bless.